Naoya Inoue beats TJ Dohney as the fight is stopped due to an apparent back injury to Doheny in round 7. Inoue defends his undisputed WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO Super Bantamweight World titles. Here are some reactions.
You guys sitting in the jaws at the moment.
Yeah. What was it on the back? Like the sciatic?
Yeah, it's the muscle right above my hips. I just can't use my leg.
All of a sudden felt the leg go dead, right?
Right leg. I tried to push off. When I come back out, I tried to push off and I went, nah.
Yeah, you could see it then.
So now the more I try it.
Naoya the Monster Inoue defended his undisputed Super Bantamweight title for the second time against former world champion TJ Dohney. While reflecting on the fight, Sam Jordan talked about how Inoue was taking on opponents he had already faced. He mentioned that when he fought TJ Dohney, he knocked him down and made him run around the ring, but felt he never got the recognition he deserved for that win. Jordan noted that Doheny was already considered past his prime when they fought, but still acknowledged that Doheny remained a good fighter.
Yeah, he's fought my leftovers, so it's, yeah, when I beat him, you know, I put him down, I made him run all around the ring after I did put him down, and, you know, I never really got the credit for it. He was an old man when I beat him, but now he's got the shot, so he's a good fighter again. But
Sam Jordan went on to say that he didn't care much about what others thought. He emphasized that he and his team knew what they were about and that they had their own plans. He added that he would face whoever was next by the end of the year. He then said, "I don't really care about the opinions of other people. I know what I and my team are about, whatever our plans are, and I'll see them at the end of the year." With an impressive record of 27-0 and 24 knockouts, Inoue had already established himself as a dominant force across 4 weight divisions. Ariake Arena had become his favored venue, where he delivered knockout performances, including his victories over Paul Butler for the undisputed bantamweight title and Stephen Fulton for 2 super bantamweight belts. Mike Tyson, the legend himself, was amazed by the persona and aura of Inoue. He called him a monster, which is his nickname for the boxing community, and praised him for looking this shredded and in form at 118. Talking about the ring's presence and his attitude towards the opponent, Mike Tyson even declared him better than Manny Pacquiao.
That's wild.
Hey, look up this young fighter called the Monster. You ever hear Monster?
No.
Japanese fighter called Monster. This is a Monster.
Crazy dude.
Yeah, let's check him out, man. Ikuki, what's his name?
This guy, Naoya.
Yeah, let's look at some of his fights. He's a mean fella.
Where's he fight?
He's a Japanese, 118 pounds, but he was like 108.
Boxing?
He's a mean fella. Oh yeah, you gotta see this bad motherfucker. He don't look like much. He's better than Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was blue like that. Just as good.
He looks like a pop star.
Oh, wait till he get on these.
The most efficient hunting machine in all of boxing.
He's vicious. The Monster.
Oof.
That's a bad guy he beat too. Broke him down. Ooh.
118?
Yeah,
who the hell fights in that division?
Bantamweights.
Yeah, but who?
Some bad some killers. Ooh, break him. Ooh, the Monster. He beat him so easy.
Oh, I love it.
The Monster.
It's a good piece, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it gave me goosebumps.
Not only Mike, but Gervonta Davis, who is the face of boxing these days, has called Inoue his dream fighter. He praised Inoue and his skills and demonstrated his interest in fighting Inoue one day, because he would be one of the most technical opponents for him. When Davis was concerned about the weight difference, this too can be turned down if Inoue crawls up the weight class for this fight.
Yeah? That would be like a fun fight.
Crazy.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight. Now that would be technical. That fight right there, like me and him. But I think I'd be too big for him.
Probably, yeah.
I'd be too big for him, yeah. But that fight would be like Yeah, facts.
Whereas TJ Doheny, an Australia-based Irishman, brought an impressive record to the ring. As a former world champion, he held a professional record of 26 wins, with 20 of those coming by knockout, giving him a strong 77% knockout ratio. Known for his resilience and power, Doheny had never lost a fight in Japan, so he felt at home in the ring there. TJ Doheny wasn't going to be intimidated when he faced the brilliant Naoya Inoue for the undisputed super bantamweight world title. Todd Duboff, president of Top Rank, recognized Doheny's strength and experience. He acknowledged that Doheny had been on a roll in Japan and wasn't likely to be fazed by the big moment. Duboff said, "Doheny's got a good punch. He's strong. He's a tough guy and has been racking up some great wins in Japan, so he won't be a stranger to the moment." Duboff also pointed out Doheny's ability to give opponents a hard time, noting his veteran status in the sport. He's seasoned, a veteran of the game. He's seen it all. That experience gives him the knowledge to pick his shots and know when to land them. He's not the type to rush in and make careless mistakes. Paulie Malignaggi also shared his thoughts on TJ Doheny, acknowledging that while he wasn't certain if Doheny could defeat Naoya Inoue, he recognized the momentum Doheny had built up. Malignaggi pointed out Doheny's string of impressive wins and knockouts, noting that Doheny had become a fighter who was getting a lot of attention and generating buzz in the boxing world. He said, "I don't know if he's the one who can do it, but he's certainly a guy who's built up a lot of momentum. He's had some impressive wins, even some impressive knockouts. You know, he's a guy who's getting a lot of people talking." As if everyone was praising Inoue, we have got Floyd Mayweather with different opinions. He analyzed the last fight of Inoue with Dohny and highlighted how he was around 40, and still Inoue being in his 20s wasn't able to win a knockout.
The kid from Japan, Inoue. So when you see, he got the victory over Cool Boy still, as, you know, Inoue. It was a Filipino fighter, he had fought twice, Dohny. So Dohny was giving him fits in the first fight. And if I'm not mistaken, Dohny was somewhere close to 40 or 40 years old when he fought him the first time. Whereas, and he was in his 20s. So he should have knocked him out in the first fight. Fighting a guy, you know, like I said before, you know, at that age.
Meanwhile, he also praised Inoue's technical IQ and how he is sometimes compared to Mayweather, which he admired.
Testing. I think he's a hell of a fighter. A hell of a fighter. I won't take nothing away from him. Hell of a fighter. And I like him because I see he take a lot of my stuff from my playbook.
Alongside Floyd Mayweather, TJ Doheny also criticized Inoue in a mooking way. He urged that being in the ring is a completely different experience where the skills draw a line between a world-class fighter and a world-ranked fighter.
But it's a rude awakening then when it comes fight night, when you're in there. You know, there's a big difference between being world-class and being world-ranked, you know. And I'm a proven world-class fighter.
Japanese boxing has a rich history, known for producing disciplined and technically skilled fighters making their Therai names globally. Todd Duboff shared his thoughts on the unique appeal of the new wave of Japanese fighters, emphasizing that they bring more than just boxing skills to the ring. They have rock star-like personalities that captivate audiences. He highlighted how Inoue, in particular, has mastered the art of combining entertainment with athleticism, drawing in fans long before his fights even begin. Duboff talked about the charisma these fighters brought to the ring and said, "They have this rock star type of personalities. They're entertainers, not only boxers." Duboff went on to praise Inoue's ability to connect with fans and create a buzz wherever he fights. He mentioned the incredible anticipation surrounding Inoue's last fight, where fans were glued to their seats hours before the event started. He added, "Inoue puts it all together. People were there 4 hours before his last fight, just glued to that big stadium." Duboff concluded by expressing his admiration for Inoue's impact on the sport, noting how refreshing it was to see a fighter with such relevance and a huge fan base. He encouraged fans to watch Inoue whenever possible, whether in Japan or elsewhere, acknowledging his special presence in the boxing world. He mentioned, "It's refreshing to see. It's great to see him have such relevance and move that country and have such a big fan base. If you ever have a chance to see Inoue, regardless if it's Japan or anywhere else, he's still something special to watch." At the press conference before the fight, Bob Arum acknowledged the challenge ahead for Naoya the Monster Inoue. He expressed hope for a strong performance from Inoue, but also recognized the danger posed by his opponent, noting that with a solid punch, the opponent would be tough to defeat. He said, "So while we all hope that the monster gives a great performance and wins the fight, we all recognize that the opponent is very dangerous and has a good punch, making him very difficult to defeat." Bob Arum emphasized the significance of the upcoming fight, noting that the entire boxing world was eagerly anticipating the matchup. He highlighted the global interest in the event, especially given the challenge Inoue was facing. He added, "So that's why the whole boxing world is looking forward to this fight from Tokyo on Tuesday night." Naoya Inoue discussed his approach to the upcoming fight, emphasizing the importance of sticking to a well-thought-out plan. He explained that he had carefully crafted his strategy and intended to execute it effectively during the fight, all while staying aware of the unfolding situation in the ring. He said, "I followed that strategy, or rather, I followed that plan because I had made a solid plan. I want to fight well while grasping the situation right in the middle of the battle." Naoya Inoue also reflected on his initial encounter with TJ Dohney, which took place during training at Ohashi Gym before Doheny's fight with Jafethli Lamido. He compared his impression of Doheny to Kazuki Nakajima, noting that after a sparring session, Doheny mentioned wanting to fight Inoue, though at the time, Inoue didn't believe it would happen. He said, "The first time we met was before that fight with Lamido, when we were training at Ohashi Gym. Well, my impression of Doheny is Kazuki Nakajima. In an interview in the ring after defeating him, he said that he wanted to fight me, but at that time I felt that there was no way I would fight." Inoue then talked about how things started to change after his victories. After defeating his sparring partner Lamido and winning his match at the Tokyo Alliance by knockout, Inoue began to see the possibility of facing Doheny in a real fight, realizing that the matchup might actually come to fruition. He added, "Afterwards, I defeated that sparring partner Lamido. That match at the Tokyo Alliance was also won by KO, and it is said that reality has taken over. That's when I started to realize that I had a chance to go." At the same press conference in Tokyo, TJ Dohney reflected on how this upcoming fight was a crucial step in his preparation to reclaim the title he once held. Doheny had previously lost his IBF Super Bantamweight title to Daniel Roman in a unification bout on April 26, 2019. He acknowledged that while it's not easy to stay motivated for a non-title fight, the drive to get back his belt was pushing him to give his all.
World champion and trying to get back. You think you got the motivation, but it's hard to get up when they're not world championship fights. But that's where my motivation and my preparation has come from for this fight. Is we're challenging for the undisputed world championship here, and it's a chance to get back a belt that I once owned. So that's where my motivation comes from.
Doheny mentioned his belonging to be among the world champions once was his driving force, and taught get that back is the revenging force now. TJ Doheny added that he always had a gut feeling that he belonged in the ring with the greatest fighters. Even though it took him a bit longer to get back to this level, he acknowledged that this motivation has been driving him forward, pushing him to reclaim his place among the best. He promised to make a good show for the crowd.
It was come from that I always had that self-belief that I belong at this top table. I belong in here with all these champions, and that's where my motivation has come to get back. Is I always believed I'd get back here. It's taken me a little bit longer than I imagined, but the climb has been good, and we're ready to put on a good show on Tuesday.
Paul Butler shared his thoughts on who might be Naoya Inoue, expressing his belief that Inoue is capable of winning world titles at multiple weight classes, including featherweight. Butler emphasized that the real challenge is finding someone who can withstand Inoue's power for the duration of a fight. He noted that Inoue's punching power has been effective at super bantamweight and is likely to be just as formidable at featherweight. He said, "I do think he'll win world titles at featherweight, but it's really about who can actually keep him off because he can obviously still bang at super bantamweight. I'm sure he'll be able to bang at featherweight as well. It's literally who can keep him off for that amount of time." Naoya Inoue's most recent fight took place on July 25, 2023, when he faced Stephen Fulton for the WBC and WBO super bantamweight titles at the Ariake Arena in Tokyo. Inoue delivered a masterful performance, dominating Fulton throughout the match with his speed, power, and precision. The fight ended in the 8th round when Inoue knocked Fulton down with a powerful combination, securing a technical knockout victory. This win not only added 2 more belts to Inoue's collection, but also solidified his reputation as one of the most formidable fighters in the sport. Sean Porter was visibly shocked after witnessing Naoya Inoue's dominant performance against Stephen "Coolboy" Fulton. Porter, who had high praise for Fulton's defensive skills, acknowledged that Fulton did many things right in the fight, but it wasn't enough to withstand Inoue's relentless attack. After seeing Inoue's power and precision firsthand, Porter declared Inoue unstoppable, expressing that he couldn't see anyone stopping Inoue anytime soon.
Very surprised. I thought he was going to have more boxing, and I thought that he would have a game plan. I just saw a lot of things that were off about Coolboy, but just think it was that Inoue was so on, The other side of that is Coolboy is a really defensive fighter. Defensive fighters don't like to get hit. They don't want to get hit, you know. So I think that also had something to do with it. He just looked a little rattled, and it was because he's a really defensive fighter, not used to getting hit. He doesn't want to get hit, you know what I mean? I don't see anybody stopping him. Anyway, it's just he's special, as I've said before. I don't see anybody stopping him at 122.
Now that the fight has been made, do let us know who was your favorite in that fight today and why. Share what was the best moment of the fight in the comment section below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel so we can connect together for more boxing reach.